Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us his word. I just wanted to do a video on King Solomon and the magnificence and the glory of his kingdom, and how we're going to go back to that. We're going to get our nationality back, we're going to get our traditions back, and we're going to get our status back on the planet Earth as the greatest nation on the planet. But I wanted to do a video on King Solomon and how he was the richest, the wisest king ever to live. First scripture is 1 Kings 10:1. And when the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices, and very much gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king, which he told her not. And when the Queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up into the house of the Most High, there was no more spirit in her. Yeah, she was at a loss for words. She was breathtaking by the glory. Skipping down to verse 14. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 603 score. So 660. And 6 talents of gold. A talent of gold is about 75 pounds. So that's roughly about 450 pounds of gold that came to Solomon in a year. Besides that, he had of the merchantmen and of the traffic of the spice merchants and of all the kings of Arabia and of the governors of the country. Verse 22. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Haram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and peacocks. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and wisdom. Yeah, he was the richest and the wisest king ever. Yeah, once in 3 years, a year and a half, one way, a year and a half coming back, that route was all the way to America. That's how the northern kingdom knew that there was a land that no man had dwelt. That's how, the 10 tribes, according to the 2nd Ezra, 13th chapter. That's how they knew that this land existed, because of King Solomon's navy coming all the way over here on that voyage for the gold and silver and ivory. The next book is in the Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews, book 8. I'm going to go down to verse or chapter 5. Just start right in the middle. And to say all in brief, Solomon made the whole building entirely of white stone and cedar wood and gold and silver. He also adorned the roofs of the walls with stones set in gold, and beautified them thereby in the same manner as he had beautified the temple of the Most High with like stones. Yeah, those gemstones, man. There's all types of precious gemstones out there. He also made himself a throne of prodigious bigness of ivory. And if you look up that word prodigious, it means ominous, strange, wonderful, marvelous, unnatural, vast, enormous. It says he made himself a throne of prodigious bigness of ivory, constructed as a seat of justice, and having 6 steps to it, on every one of which stood on each end of the step 2 lions, 2 other lions standing above also. But at the sitting place of the throne, hands came out to receive the king. And when he sat backward, he rested on half a bullock that looked towards his back, but still all fastened together with gold. And here's a little illustration of what that looked like. The lions, 6 steps, the throne. We had the roofs of the Corinthian order. It was very beautified. With all types of gemstones, and that's how we're going to build our kingdom up. If you read Revelation 21, it goes into that. It was all fastened together with gold. A very beautiful, very beautiful building. But the last scripture we get is Revelation 21 and 19. And the foundations of the wall. The whole chapter is good, but I'm just going to start at 19. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. This is talking about in the kingdom. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, and the fourth an emerald. You can just Google all these different stones. They're very beautiful, shiny, beautiful stones. But I just wanted to get that and just speak on the kingdom and the brilliance of King Solomon, and how beautiful his palace was, his kingdom was, and how we're going to go back to that status. You just got to have that faith and wait on it. But with that, shalom.